Howdy, 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 howdy.
Why do I always keep laughing every time we start these things?
Because we have no idea what to expect.
How are you, Moxie?
I'm doing great.
Right. Awesome.
I'm looking up on life and
Good.
yeah. How about you?
It's about time. First, I want to say it's really cold in here because
Oh
if
my-
you see me wearing a sweatshirt a lot, it's because I'm really cold all the time.
you
And
I got this tank top on, and I'm like,
I know.
and he's like, oh my, blah, blah, blah. Like we look like we have an issue.
Yeah,
But,
we do. Well, I do anyway. Not about you, but I do.
You know, we're keeping it real.
We are keeping it real talk, real people. Welcome,
yeah,
everyone. We appreciate you listening, tuning in.
Thank you for being
All
viewers.
right, subscribe to us on
Share
YouTube.
and like.
Share and like.
Absolutely.
Find us on YouTube. Just type in Mayo and Moxie. You'll see us. You'll see a ton of them.
Do you know what my favorite thing is that people say about our title is? They're like, that
What?
sounds like the most disgusting combination in the world.
It does.
Mayonnaise and Moxie soda. Ew.
Yeah.
I have this visual of somebody just taking a spoonful of mayo and going foot into some glass of Moxie
Yes.
and seeing it do that mayonnaise separating thing.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I know, but
see what I mean?
But we're not like that.
We're not like the oil and vinegar look.
no.
But see, if you mix it hard enough, you're like, look, magic.
Like-
you know.
like Pepsi and milk. Like
Ew.
Laverne and Shirley. Am I
They
dating
did that.
myself? Yeah.
They did that recently with Coca-Cola. It was cookies and milk or something.
really?
Yes. Oreo cookie Coke.
Oh wow.
There were mixed reviews. I could only think of the fizzy Coca-Cola taste stuck in the mushy part of my Oreo cookie.
Oh
Sounded
wow.
nasty to me.
Well, they do that Oreo cookie thing in the microwave. You put the cookie in with a little
Doesn't
bit of
work.
milk, and then you
Doesn't
just put it on a minute or so, and
does
then
not
it's supposed
work.
to
No.
fluff up. Nah.
I've tried it several times, several
Yeah.
different ways.
Okay. Anyway. All right.
I like to try what I see sometimes on the internet before I bring it here. And then oftentimes I'm like, wow, that's some movie magic they got going on making that work. The cookie thing, I'm like, what did you do? Take a double stuffed Mr. Big Stuff cookie? I don't know.
Excuse
Maybe
me, I haven't tried it yet, and plus,
it's got to be a certain
I don't
microwave.
I don't like to use a lot of microwave things. I just absolutely have to, yes, but other than that, I just stay away from the microwave.
So I know people think that's a myth, right?
Yeah, but it's not.
Microwave doesn't, it just heats things up.
No,
I'm like, all right,
it does a lot. I mean, I don't want to get into it right now. I mean, if that's what you want
I
to
have
get
to
into
for
it.
a second.
All right,
let's
go
pause
ahead.
for
Get
just a
all right,
second.
go ahead.
So if you have your cup of coffee, let's say you have a cup of coffee and
Yes.
you brewed it and you're drinking it, and then you take the same cup of coffee and you put it in your microwave, it completely tastes different. Completely tastes different.
It's the molecules
They're
they're
changing.
changing.
Correct. So the only thing that I generally heat up in my microwave is my coffee.
Okay.
Because I like my coffee piping hot. Unless I'm
You're changing the taste, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like
Yeah.
it, but it just doesn't heat up in the pot
see,
fast enough.
This is what happens if you have the. I don't drink coffee, but I've made it for people, and I know all about it. So anyway, whatever, and so, but anyway, they have these coffee pots now with heaters on the bottom.
Yes.
And you can heat up you keep it
just
hot. You should stay hot, but the key is to keep it encased in something.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Not just the coffee pot that's heated underneath and it's all exposed.
Yes.
That doesn't work well.
You mean something like a thermos or something to keep it nice and hot.
Yeah. Well, no,
inside.
they make it so they're inside. They're in.
Oh, I got you.
Like they're encased, so you put it inside your coffee container. Okay. What's going on with that thing?
E.T. I'm gonna dunk E.T. in some hot coffee.
You are.
Nothing. Bad things
There
are.
it is.
Bad things are happening when I say it in my brain, so I'm just gonna stop.
Well, why don't you just take a sip of that one?
Okay.
Okay, right there. Just take a sip real quick. Okay. All right, perfect. All right, there you got your coffee for the day.
Jojo.
All right, yeah.
Mushy.
Jojo, mushy.
Because you all failed to name
Yeah.
Disappointed.
Yeah. Okay.
E.T.
And E.T. Eggs and toast.
Eggs and toast.
Uh-huh. All right.
But I have to ask a question.
Okay.
What is the neighborly thing to do in today's society? Let's say you were to throw a party at your house, right? So
Okay.
we recently went to a big size party in like a cul-de-sac. So
Yeah.
pretty much everybody in the cul-de-sac was involved in the party. So it was
Yes.
kind of like a huge yard party.
Right.
What's the etiquette? Do you let your neighbors know? Like, hey, we're throwing a party, so if you hear a bunch of noise, I hope that's okay.
I think
do
they
people
tell
do
'em.
that anymore?
Yeah, of course they do. Then most people are friends, with their neighbors. They know their neighbors. In case if they'd been there a long time too.
But does that happen
I
anymore?
would.
Are you friends with your neighbors?
Yes. No. It's today's world's different.
It's
but if
very
you've been there a
different.
long time and you've always been there, then that's a different story.
It's
but if
very
you're moving
different.
from place to place, you may not know your neighbors.
Well, I assume that if... Okay, I would assume, but I was wrong. I would assume that if you're on a narrow street, that you probably are going to have people park in your yard because one car is going to make that narrow street almost impassable.
Impassable. Yes.
Yeah, that.
Impassable.
Yeah, that. Brain fart. So
I would let all my neighbors know, especially if I was going to have a band.
It doesn't happen anymore.
And you'd have to if there's a
Nope.
band playing, because you want anybody calling the police.
No,
So
I'm
no,
not.
you have to let them know. You can even just put a flyer in
I'm
their
not,
mailbox.
Listen, I'm not a quote for a better term, Karen or anything. Like, just let me know what's going on. I don't want to come home and see people parked on the side of my yard.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And loud music, and my neighbor didn't even let me know.
Yeah, I would let people know.
I would let people know.
If other people didn't, well, then that's
We're
their
from a
problem.
different generation, though.
Right.
Like, I don't think this generation pays attention to outside of their circle at all. Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe.
I'm not judging you. I guess it's a little judgy.
Maybe. Yeah.
Real person.
Real talk, real people, real talk.
Do you judge people?
No,
Do you judge generations?
I don't judge generations at all.
Do you see a big gap?
You can't put somebody down for not knowing what an old telephone is. I mean, come
that's
on.
so funny.
It's
so
not
funny.
their fault.
Well, I
but
think-
people are trying to get a laugh out of it. Ha 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 ha! You don't know what a phone is, like we did back in the day. Well, then they're not
like
gonna
when-
know, idiot.
That's like when we
just
saw
not
an
gonna know.
8-track tape. And we're like,
Yeah.
what is that?
Yeah. We
Yeah.
didn't know.
No, we didn't. But I'm not so much the generation. Sorry, I'm really into holding
That's
eggs
fine.
and toast
You
right
can.
now. I
Sure.
really think I might want some eggs and toast. That's your fault. You mentioned it.
I did.
But I really think not so much technology-wise with the generational gap. I think it's more social. And it is a huge generational gap. And what is acceptable and what isn't acceptable between strangers. Like,
Yeah.
I know the internet is explore the internet, fact check, do this and do that. I understand that. But the videos that I've been seeing of the arguments between adults and young adolescents, teenagers, floors me. Like, I get you think your teacher's wrong, but we grew up with respect for our elders because of they went through hard times of education to get the degrees to get this job, first of all.
Right, but times have changed. You got to realize this.
So much.
People aren't teaching the kids the same thing that we were taught.
'cause we have standards
and
in
we have
states.
standards, but that's all we had was the basics.
Yeah.
We didn't have all this other technology to try to figure out. We had a world encyclopedia to look up things for our homework.
Come on. What was it called in the library? The Dewey
was,
Decimal System. All right, kids.
So-
We're going to spend a week in the library trying to figure out how to use these little cards. On this little card will be a number in the far corner.
Yeah.
That will tell you the area you need to go to in the library, on what floor, what aisle, and what shelf to find your book to get that one piece of information you need. That's how we did
I
it.
get it, exactly. But going back to what the point is
Yes.
right?
I get it. I get it. I get it. But
you can't.
I think that the gap that's missing is the respect piece. I don't think it has to do with any social media or a phone or piece of gaming equipment or anything like that. I think it's how we're brought up by our parents. So it's the respect piece that's missing between. I've seen it go extreme on both ways. I've seen some young adults help out people with disabilities cross the street and things like that, and it's very heartwarming. But I've also seen young people go after adults, but I've also seen adults go after young people.
Yeah.
I don't remember ever doing that growing up, ever. Ever seeing the interaction between adults and children being aggressive.
Anybody who's older than you, anyone, you respect them.
Correct. And on the opposite side, those people don't get to say and belittle you and whatever just because you're a child.
Yeah.
So I sit here in today's world and I'm just like, what's happening? Where did this come from? I don't know if it's lack of raising children and being like, boom, here you go, E.T. Here's your TV or your iPad or your gaming system.
It stopped along the way.
Raise yourself.
Yeah, it stopped somewhere in there when the gadgets started coming out.
I
mean, even with TV, when I was growing up, it's just the TV. You
right.
just sit down in front of the TV.
If you had a lot of channels.
Yeah, which we didn't.
No.
We had maybe 4.
Same.
4 or 5.
Yep. Did you have, let's turn the dial.
Turn the dial to 3, 22,
yep.
UHF.
But we didn't have
CBS,
the access.
It was just channel 3, yeah.
And outside was great.
40, yeah.
Did you go outside a lot?
Yeah, I did. I was outside a lot.
So I feel like
Running
we didn't
around.
have the decades of the IT nerds and the gamers.
No.
We didn't have that. Okay,
Right.
we were like, dude, you want to come over and play some serious Monopoly?
Yeah.
It might take hours. I got some chips.
Yeah. Exactly, yes.
And I miss those, and now
Right.
kids don't know. Like, I grew up climbing trees and building tree forts and
Right.
playing
Same.
TV tag until whenever.
You have to go back until it gets dark.
Correct.
Maybe sometimes later.
Correct.
Because we extend it. Because, all right, do we have to come in now?
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no, but not today. You don't see anybody out there playing around usually today.
And that's because there's always some sort of device
There's
you
a
can
device
hold.
you can do, and right.
And you're too
And
busy.
You can look at doing your
You're
thing.
too busy like this.
Yeah.
So I'll let you know a fun fact. When I started seeing my spine and specialist, because I have a disorder in my cervical spine, I was told by the specialist, he said, we will start to see a bunch of young adults in their mid-20s to early 30s having neck and shoulder and arm issues and things like carpal tunnel, because they're generations of this. This movement, while looking down and doing this with your thumb, ruins your upper body.
Now they're telling you just to put your head back a little while, just to lean it back.
They're not going to do
And
that.
they did. They lean it back, but don't do it too much, because then you start going back the other way, and that's try to get that
Yeah, they're just...
from your neck and your shoulder
Listen,
area, the back of your neck.
You can't even get
you know?
people to look up to cross the street. They're not going to look up to relax
I
their neck.
say,
Excuse me, hold on
listen.
just a second.
Every time you're in the shower, just keep looking up.
Look up. Look
Just
up.
look up.
I think, with that being said, I think because of electronics, we don't look up enough
No,
anymore.
we don't.
Like, there's
You have
so
to
much
keep it
awesome
like this,
stuff up there.
like this,
Like,
in front of you.
yeah, you're
It's
missing.
difficult at first to go down.
You're missing the world.
right.
You're missing the world. I personally, I don't know. It's 50-50 at restaurants, generational, as to who I see using phones while they're at a restaurant. I personally don't like to bring my phone into a restaurant. My attention should be on the person I'm there
I get it.
with, because money is being spent on that evening
Time,
and
right.
time.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I do see a number of people they don't talk, and they're just like this.
Oh, waiting for their food, and they can't talk
Go
to
home
each other.
and do that. What's the point?
Yeah, you got to wait for your food. I do bring mine in with me. I don't know why, but I just put it aside when I do it. I don't sit there and use it while I'm talking to somebody else.
I'm gonna start making
you
a
know?
sticky note thing for you. So every
Okay.
time I see it out, I'm gonna be like,
Yeah.
bam,
Right.
along with the glitter bombs.
Right.
But so I don't know. I notice a generational gap.
Yeah.
I do.
Uh-huh.
But I also live in the woods, so when I go from being in the rural parts of the country to
Yeah.
more civilized city life,
I get you.
I get the mentality is going to be different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, I'm probably, look at that country goth hippie pumpkin, whatever she may be, plopped in the middle of the woods. What does she do in there? I'm like,
Well,
I plot and wait till I come to your cities.
big black pot there.
That's right.
And then boiling.
Boil,
What are you
toil,
boiling?
and trouble. I used to
What are
scare
you
the
boiling
neighborhood
in there?
girls. The neighborhood girls, speaking of generational, because we don't really teach religions anymore, right?
Yeah.
Because there's just so much history that's gone by. We now have to pick and choose what we teach our children. So they know that I'm witchy, okay? They've seen the way that I dress. They probably peeked and see what goes on in the backyard.
Especially during Halloween.
Especially during Halloween, Samhain. They have ding-dong ditched me quite a bit.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, like...
They're scared.
Yes, so now, like, if I walk, they do that girl huddle thing. Like, I do one of these. Boo.
That's hilarious.
And turn around and walk away. And that's it.
Wow.
That's it. I've been spotted at the Quabbin doing something by the water with sage in my hand, and had some people come out of the woods, and literally I could hear them go, "Whoa, whoa!" And I was like,
That's hilarious.
"Watch out! It's
That's
a sage stick. It's gonna get you. It's gonna get you, one way or another. It's gonna get you."
Maybe next week.
So again, that's generational because we're not taught certain things. We don't know how to
One
interact
way
social.
or another.
That's how I
in
felt.
my brain now. Thank you.
You should just see this witch on and this peninsula sticking out in the water with this sage stick, and people coming out of the woods
Sure.
like,
Yeah. I'm gonna get you one way.
yeah.
Maybe next.
So now you can think of me all day because now that's going to be stuck
Thank you, Moxie.
in your brain.
Thank you so much.
It's a generational
Moxie.
thing. Does
Yeah,
anybody,
it is.
Do they even know who Blondie is?
Look it up. I'm sure they do.
And I
Whoever's-
keep saying they, but it's Generation
Whoever.
X?
Yeah,
Is that what they're called?
I think so. I don't know. I'm not gonna make any
Gen
guesses unless I
Xers?
look
Are
at
we
it.
Gen Xers?
Yes.
We're Gen.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we're past millennials.
David knows.
What is?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's this generation?
Gen Z.
Gen
Oh, Gen Alpha now.
Gen Alpha.
Gen Alpha.
I have seen Alpha Pack members. Are we sure this is the right term we want to use? Is Alpha?
Well, that's what they picked. I was reading something about it because I remember.
Fine. I want to be Generation X Alpha.
Radio Prep had it. So.
Radio.
Radio Prep.
This is what we're doing today. Because we're
Yeah.
real people.
Right.
Real talk. We discuss this every once in a while when we come in.
This is a real subject I really want to get to, but we'll do that in probably another podcast.
We sit here and we try to, we're like, what topic, what this? And we found that when we're natural and
Yeah.
it's whatever comes out,
Right.
comes out.
It's more real.
Correct. And it's hard to come up with what we want to talk about because we just
Talk about a lot of things.
Well, random's better than just be like, let's beat this horse
Yeah,
about
right.
why bubble gum is bad for your teeth.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not that
I
type
like
of
to
person.
talk about real things. It's going to relate to people.
Yes. And we're not always on game or on par with the day. And it leaves us like today, we're a little like, I don't know
But
what
it's anyone. Yeah.
But it happens to
Happens to everybody. And
everybody.
That's why we're real talk, real people.
Real people.
Mayo and Moxie.
Real people. Poke.
Like and subscribe.
Poke. Like, subscribe, share.
Yeah, everything.
Everything.
And Mayo and Moxie on our Facebook page is really nice too.
And if you are in the Orange, Athol, Massachusetts area, we are making our way to their public access television station and radio.
Thank you. Thank you for listening on WVAO LP.
Yes.
And 105.9 FM in Athol.
Athol and Orange.
That's right. So we love you
I'm
guys.
excited.
Appreciate you listening and tuning in.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Until next time.
Next time. Woo. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Nah. Impassable.
Brain fart.
Anyway.